it's your first time, welcome. It's lovely to meet you. If it's your second, third, fourth, or 157th time, I'm on 157 here today, welcome again. We are going to be doing 30 minutes of gentle Pilates inspired mindful movement, especially for mobilizing, a little bit of strength work, but lots for mobilizing. And you can do this standing, you can do this sitting. There's going to be a lying down section, which you could do from your bed. You can sit on the edge of your bed as well, or you can do the whole thing sitting. And I will keep moving between the chair, between standing and lying down. And so I can show you all the different ways of doing things. I hope you are ready to get back into the sort of day-to-day routine. It's hard New Year, just getting things going again. And the weather has been so cold. So let's get ourselves moving. I'm going to keep a little watch out here for any hellos and anybody who's here. And hopefully I'll be able to see messages. If you want to ask me anything, you can put it in the chat. I always go after class and check afterwards and say hi to the people who've been there. So if you've got something you need to know or something you want to check, put it in there, because this is the way we can communicate. Let's get moving then. So let's start with our legs a little bit wider. So it looks like this if you're standing. It looks like this if you're sitting. And I'm not at the very back of my chair because I want to be able to sort of move my arms around a little bit. We're going to place our hands in a prayer position, elbows out to the side, and push up and then take it down. Up and down. You'll find as you go down, I get to this point here, my hands start to part. That's probably where I'm stopping. It feels like enough pressure. I don't want you to force anything. Next one's different. We're going to go up and then take it round. Bring your hands together. Push up, breathe in. And then take it round and breathe out. Breathing in. And breathing out. You don't have to copy me. You can go in your own breath pattern. And I'm trying to do all of that through my nose. So I'm breathing in through my nose, out through my nose. If your nose is bunged up or if your jaw is feeling tight, especially around here, might help to breathe out through your mouth for a few. And one more. And then bringing your feet so that they both face forwards and they're in a parallel position. And then give your feet a little wipe and a rub. Now this weather, when it's chillier, I don't know about you, but my hands and the feet are the worst bits. I get very cold. So I like a little extra foot movement, especially at the beginning, so we can feel our feet a little bit more. So this sort of foot wipe is a really good thing to do. And I want you to end with both your feet facing forwards and parallel. They're roughly about a book distance apart, your feet. And then if you're seated, put your hands on your chest. If you're standing, put your hands somewhere out to the side, your arms out to the side, and just give your shoulders a little wiggle. We're going to lean one side, a bit like we're on a boat. Come to the center and lean to the other side. There's some tension in the legs as we do this, so they're quite straight and the thighs firm up just above your knees, thumbs up. And we're just going to the outer edges of our feet. So, and then come back to the center. Now push to both outer edges. See my feet and my ankles just bow slightly, and then they're going to go inwards. Now, I don't want you to really push this, especially if your ankles really easily bow, if you twist your ankles a lot. Just working gently out and in, out and in. So if I was doing really little ones, this is how they'd look. If I was doing bigger ones, mine don't get too big. My ankles like to twist quite easily, so I'm not going to push it. That's a bit bigger. That's it. And then we'll take a heel up and then the other heel up. And as you do that, the points of your knees come further forwards. And I'm trying not to do a sort of slinky side to side. I'm trying to keep my hips pretty much where they are. You can even touch your hip bones as you do this. And if you're seated, It looks like this. Your knees, instead of going forwards, are coming up and down. And then grow a little taller, stand a little taller, feet down, have a little wriggle, like you're wriggling inside your top, inside your jumper, inside your layers, I hope. And then we're going to grow super tall. It's like I've just pulled one hair on your head, or you could imagine a crown going on, and then we're going to tap the back of your head and rub the bridge of your nose. This is one of my favourite things to do. And then you can let go and just enjoy the tingles, or you can just keep your fingers there and slide your head back a little so it feels like you've got extra chins. In fact, I don't just feel, I know I've got extra chins. And then I'm going to give my shoulders a little wriggle. Keep my extra chins and turn side to side. And while I'm doing that, I'm trying to have a soft jaw. I don't want to really grit my teeth here and make things more tense. Come to the center. And now we're going to go on an infinity loop. So the tip of your nose is going to draw this loop. It's like a figure eight on its side. If it feels that you want to make this bigger, you can do. If it feels like it wants to be smaller, it's your movement, you can decide. And now we're going to make this shape smaller and smaller until we stop in the center, and then just give yourself a moment to look ahead. And then we're going to give our shoulders a little roll. Now, I've hurt this shoulder a little bit, so I'm just making my movements really quite small for this. If your shoulder's a bit more comfortable, this side is more comfortable, you can take your arm down by your side and make these circles a bit bigger. If it's uncomfortable, support your arms, either bring them close to your body. So if you're standing, it would look like this. I've got my hands on my thighs and my arms are really brushing to the sides of my body. And if I was sitting, I just keep everything really close here and my palms slightly upwards. In my hands, arms upwards. Just going for a few forwards as well, and then a few backwards. Perfect. And then we're going to go for a little side step. So if you're sitting, come forwards on your chair and just start stepping a few steps. Now it's going to the side in a chair, but it almost feels like you're going around a little semicircle. If you're doing this standing, just a few side steps over one way and a few the other. I haven't got any music, but you can have a bit of music going inside your head if you like, right? Something for the arms. So I'm going to just take my arms this way and then take my arms that way. There's like a little circle going on. That's it. Right, now I'm going to bring a bigger circle and just one side step each way. Now my circles are quite low today because this shoulder's not liking things. But this side could do a bigger one. So that's what a bigger one looks like. And if I was doing this in the chair, I'll do the same side leg and the same side arm. And then come back to the center. And then we're going to start to do a little curtsy. This is how a curtsy looks seated. So I'm just putting one foot behind, resting on that toe. Now you could also hold on to the chair. That will give you a slightly more secure surface. And my back's straight, my chest is just coming slightly forwards. If I'm doing this standing, I definitely want my arms a little out to the side, just for my balance. Whoa. And bending this leg, back bending both legs and taking my time. That's it. One more each side. And then legs a little wider, hands on the chest, let the elbows drop down. Keep concentrating on your feet, or your feet and your bum if you're sitting. We're going to keep the same pressure through the feet, through the sitting bones, through the bum, and just dip down on one side. So like this, elbows dipping downwards. and dip down on the other side, coming up really tall in between. Now, I like doing this one higher as well. So I've got both hands on my head. You could put your hands behind. I like them on my temples. And as I do this, I'm trying to keep the weight in this side that I'm moving away from really nice and even and strong. So it doesn't go like that. I'm just trying to keep that pressure there. One more. And then we're going to get a bit swishy. It's like you're in water, it's warm. We're just letting ourselves have a little turn, gentle sort of rotation, but it's not twisty. It's just the whole body having a little rotation. If you're sitting, that's a soft. Perfect. So, and then bring yourself back to facing forwards. The legs are still a bit wider. The feet can be turned out a little bit. We'll put our hands on our thighs and send the bum back and the chest downwards a little. So it looks like this. And then coming up. And if you're doing this sitting, same leg position, you can pull your feet back slightly or keep them right under your feet. And then we're coming a little forwards and a little back. So there's a little bit of pressure in the hands and the belly's got some gentle tension on it. I tend to say things like, if a toddler came in the room and just gave you a little punch in the belly, you've got a bit of resistance there. It's just enough for a toddler, nothing more than that. Now, some options. As you do this, you could offer your hands forwards and then bring them back in, like you're offering a present to somebody. As your bum goes back. So you can even do this with things. So if you've got something like a light cushion, nothing too heavy, you could just offer a cushion forwards. It's almost like a little counterbalance, and it often gets your hips going further back. And what's particularly good about this one, if you've got really cranky knees, the effort and the load, instead of going to your knees, is going in your bum and your hamstrings here. So if you had to pick something up, so imagine that I was going to pick up my water bottle, instead of going like this and my knees, weight going through my knees and it hurting, if I had sore knees, take my bum back, got my hands on my thigh, get my water bottle and come up. So a bit of functional movement. And one more. And then keep that the same leg position. Reach an arm across, let the foot move. Reaching across, like you're just pulling something from the side, reaching for something from the side. And take it higher and lower. And somewhere fairly level with your waist. Then come back to the center. Well done. Right, I'm just going to have a little drink. I'm going to keep hydrated. And seeing if we've got any messages. Oh, I can see a load of messages here. So, hello, Barbara. Hello, Jackie. Says last one for a few weeks, which I'll be here when you get back, Jackie. Hello, Gillian. Oh, hello, Christine. Hello, Irene. Very nice to have you all here. Right. Oh, I missed all those messages. Next position we're going to go into is somewhere where we can put a little bit of pressure through the hands. So if you have wrist problems and you don't like putting pressure through your hands, take it somewhere higher. Or if you have a shoulder issue, so at the moment I've got my shoulder issue, I'm going to take it to this chest of drawers, and I can't put a lot of weight through this side, so my other hand is taking more weight. You could also take this into, if you're comfortable on all fours, you could take this down to an all fours position. You can tuck your toes under if you want to, have your feet flat. You're just going to move a little forwards and backwards. So if your wrists or your shoulders are really uncomfortable with the weight coming forwards like this, just a little bit, and perhaps more backwards. But anything you like under your knees. If your knees are thinking, oh, not at all, bring it up, take it to this higher place. So here, I like to send my bum back, just like we were doing before. I could even have a little sit and then come up. And then I'm just going to raise my heels a little bit and let that weight go forwards. Sink back, forwards. And this is like, it's a bit like, you know, when people do planks and they're putting the weight into their hands and their feet or their toes, and their core is just supported and pulled back. It's a little bit of weight bearing. With the wrists, a little bit of core work, but you're in control. So if you're thinking, I need to be back a bit, I only want to put a little bit of weight here, go for it. If you can put more weight here and lean a bit more heavily, this is me leaning more heavily. I'm definitely leaning more into one side than the other. And then we're going to find a place in the middle. So now the weight's evenly spread between your hands and your feet. And I'd like you to stick your bum out and drop your belly. See that arch in my back? And then take a breath in. And as you breathe out, pull your belly and chest back away from whatever is beneath you. So I'm looking at the floor and I'm going to pull everything in my chest and my belly away from the floor. Take a breath in again. As you breathe out, we're going to reverse it. So I let my bum stick out as much as it can. The back starts to arch, my chest comes forward. And then I'm going to reverse it. Now, if you're sitting and you're thinking, I don't want any weight through my hands at all, you can do this a bit like a mime artist. Hands ahead like they're on a wall. Pull back. However, if you've got osteoporosis or osteopenia, there's no support for your spine here. So I'd rather you had your hands on your thighs, and then you've got something to press into and keep this movement really small. It's all right this way around when your chest comes up, but the other way around, just a small movement. I'll show you from the side. So I'm pulling my belly back here, like it's against something cold, and it just can't wait to get away. And then pushing forwards. And last one. And then just have a little wriggle, a little shimmy of the shoulders. Next place we're going to go is either to the back of your chair and get yourself comfortable, maybe an extra cushion, or if you are comfortable lying down, we're going to take it down to a mat or a bed. We'll change the camera so you get to see the very best view. Oh, hello, Judith, as well, joining us. Hi. Nice to have you here. And then we're going down to a lying down position or a sitting position and just getting ourselves really comfy. I keep forgetting when I get on the floor, can't lean back with that arm so much. Oh. And spend all the time you need getting yourself down there, even if it takes a really long time. If you can get down onto the floor and get up again, and it takes a long time, it's still a really good skill to have. You can see I'm just doing a little bit of rocking and swaying, getting my body comfortable here. If you're sitting on a chair, could you bring yourself to the front third of the chair seat and put your hands on the side? And when you are lying down, we're going to start with our legs close together, take our heels apart, toes forward, let our knees come apart so that our feet are on the floor. And then we're going to creep these feet, and I'm doing both together, just a little toe creep down the floor along the mat. And I'm not going for completely straight, but I'm going for really, it looks quite awkward. You can see there's just a little bit of space behind. My toes are in the air, my heels are on the ground. Right from here, take the arms out to the sides. So they're sort of T-shape-ish. And then let the legs just have a little sway here and the hips have a little sway. Same on the chair, it'll be just your heels on the ground. Come back to the center, slide the feet back a little bit. So now there's heel on the ground, maybe a bit more of your foot, but there's still this quite shallow shape under the legs. And side to side again, just with the legs, maybe a bit of hip. You can see my bum's just coming away here. And then feet down on the ground, shuffle back. And now we've got our legs a sort of L shape, a 90-degree type of a shape. Feet definitely on the floor, exactly the same sitting. And let them go side to side. And now as you do that, keep your shoulders where they are. Either they're just leaning back on the ground or they are just holding upwards. I'll show you for a seated position. Just holding the chair. So not letting your shoulders do this, just keep them where they are. As your legs do your side to side. And then turn your head the other way to your legs. And if you are seated, you might even like to do this with your legs together and push them into each other. Last one. Perfect. Right, now we're going to do something for the arms. So I'll show you in this position. I'm going to do a goalpost arm. Now my goalpost is a bit saggy today, but I'll go with it. So it could look more like this W, or it could be more that sort of shape. And as we move, we're just going to move the arms, the lower parts of our arms. It's a bit like you've seen a lucky cat, a little Chinese sort of emblem. You see these cats that are waving. It's a bit like one of those, but with two arms. So that's how it looks if you're seated. And then if you're lying down, we've got a bit more sensation behind us with the ground. Now, I'm going to leave this arm out of it at the moment because it's just not happy. I'm just going to demonstrate with this outer arm. It's just going to move. Now, I'm not touching the floor here. That's as far as my arm will go. And then moving back, I can touch the floor there, but you might not be able to. You could put a cushion behind if you want something to support it. We're just looking for gentle movement. That's it. And then bring the arms in to your chest, palms on your chest. And we're going to take the arms over to one side and then over to the other. Over to one side, over to the other. Now, as you're doing that, feel there's a little bit of sort of energy and momentum that can work here. So let's take the legs a little wider. And as you take your arms over one way, just push. I'm pushing into this foot. It's just pushing me over a little bit. Back to the center. Pushing me over to the other side. I'm not going super far, just gentle little push. Gentle push the other way. So a little bit of rocking and rolling. One more each side. And then back to the center. Bring the arms in. Maybe rest your hands on your belly or your hips. Bring the legs in. Have a little wriggle. Check where your eyes are looking. So if you're lying down, your eyes look to the ceiling, and then you can close them if you like. If you're seated, your eyes look straight ahead. We're going to take a breath in. Think of it going to the sides of your waist, the sides of your ribs. And as you breathe out, we're going to let our bellies sink downwards. Our pubic bone tip up. You just feel a little tilt on the bum, and then as we breathe in, we're going to go the other way. So now our belly's round a bit more. There's maybe a bit of an arch behind your back. And breathing out, tipping the other way. The pelvic tilts. And then if you're lying down, take out anything big underneath your head. We're just going to do a little mini bridge. So arms can go down by your sides. I'm going to go onto the sides of my hands, so like a chopper sort of action. I'm going to bring my feet just in a little bit and do that same tilt. Keep my eyes on the ceiling or closed. And as I tilt, I'm pressing into my feet now. I'm just lifting my hips up and then lowering down. It's just gently articulated. If you're doing this sitting, I would stay with those pelvic tilts. But what you can also do, if you've got more strength in your hands, is come away slightly from your chair, and you can do those same tilts with your hands sort of supporting you and your bum suspended in the air, but it needs more strength in the legs and some strength in the hands, probably more than I can put through my shoulder at the moment. So otherwise, just stay with these tilts. You could also do a little side to side or a little circle in between. And now for a little bit of variation all round. So if we take our arms either up towards the ceiling or ahead, the shoulders rest on the back. So they rest on the mat or towards the back of your chair. They're not sort of stretched out like that. So now do that same pelvic tilt first and just feel it's slightly different. You could even put your hands together. I'm going to do that with a little clasp. I like that, so they're pushing into each other. And then you can also bring that little bridge into it. Keep the feet really pushing down into the floor. Lowering back down again. You could even have a little wiggle here. I'm just doing a little side to side wriggle. Wiggle even. Wiggle, wriggle. I mean, very similar. And then take it down. And one more. And then give yourself a gentle, quite low down hug. A little rock side to side. And then we're going to cross the arms the other way. And then we're all going to do the next one in a seated position. So if you're on the ground, think about what's the best way for you to get yourself upwards again. I'm going to come onto my side. This is my good side for pushing up. And I'm going to push up that way. But you do whatever works for you. And then we're going to come into a seated position. Don't worry if it's taking a bit of time. Now I'm going to kneel for this one. But you could sit cross-legged. You could sit on a sofa or a chair. We're going to have our hands on our legs. Might be cross-legged and out here, or they're straight ahead on your chair. Press your hands into your legs a little and just wriggle a bit taller. Bring the elbows in. Then we're going to lower this underneath part of our arms down towards the thigh. And as we do this, my gaze is going downwards. I'm sort of looking down here. And then I'm going to push back up again. There's definitely that tension ready for a toddler running in, give me a little punch in the belly. So there's some tension here. I'm using a bit of power in my arms. I've got the pressure pretty light there. I'm going to use my core muscles more than my arms. If your core is weaker and your arms can take it, you could use your arms more. Next time we come up, just give the shoulders a little roll, a little wiggle. Going to go down again. And then we're going to take the arms outwards, make that W sort of shape or the cactus shape if you can go a little higher. And squeeze down, soft bounce up. Squeeze down and bounce up. The squeeze down is like you've got a sponge underneath here and you're just squeezing water out. So we'll do that on an exhale, and we'll let them come up on an inhale. One more. That hug again, low down, higher, wherever is comfortable. A little bit of rotation and then a stroke. And then we'll take the arms the other way. A little bit of rotation. A stroke. And then it's like we're taking off layers. So just opening up the arms, taking a layer off. Crossing again, taking a layer off. I'd rather put layers on at the moment than take them off. And last one. And then take your palms out to the side, scoop up the air, breath in, bring your hands together, bring them into your chest. Give yourself a bit of love and appreciation for taking this time with yourself, with me, looking after yourself, getting everything moving. I hope you're okay. I shall see you again soon. I'm just checking who else is in here. Hello, Andrew. Nice to have you here as well. Thank you, Irene. Always a pleasure. I shall see you soon, maybe next week. Bye.